Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. Today we're hosting our sixth Flash webinar on custom roles. To give you a brief overview of our Flash webinar series, our goal is to give you a quick yet informative webinar about a specific feature in Loomly. So today we're going to review our predefined roles, how to set up permissions for your collaborators, and create custom roles today. And by the way, I'm Jennifer, and I'm a customer success manager over at Loomly. So you can assign default and predefined roles to your collaborators. We have a total of 5 predefined roles, and you can invite and assign each collaborator to a calendar with 4 predefined roles with different permission levels. However, we have 5 set roles: owner, editor, client, contributor, and viewer. So let's dive into the predefined roles in a little bit more detail. Here you'll see a chart with permissions available for each role, which can also be accessed in our Help Center. The owner of a calendar has full permissions in terms of content management, collaboration, and user management. There can only be one owner per calendar, and this role should always be the subscriber of the plan and can't be assigned. However, the calendar ownership can be transferred to the subscriber. For example, if you're a user under a subscriber's plan and you created a calendar during your trial. Now, the editor has full permissions in terms of content management and collaboration, and an editor also has limited user management permissions, meaning they can invite other collaborators, but they can't manage their own, manage the ownership of the calendar. Now, a client has limited permissions in terms of content management. They can view and delete content only, but they'll be unable to create and edit content or view draft post states. They also have full permissions in terms of collaboration, and a client role also has limited user management permissions. They can invite other collaborators and manage other collaborators and manage his or her own role. A contributor has limited permissions in terms of content management as they can't delete posts. They have limited to permissions in terms of collaboration. They can comment, assign, and submit for approval only, but they're unable to approve and schedule posts. And limited permissions in terms of user management. They can manage his or her own role only and not invite other collaborators to a calendar. Now, a viewer has very limited permissions in terms of content management as they can only view content. For collaboration, they can comment only and they will not be able to assign or update posts or add states or schedule. For user management, they can't invite collaborators. They can manage their own role, however. I also wanted to mention there can be several contributors, editors, clients, and viewers per calendar. Now, these roles can be accessed from calendar settings. So as long as you go into calendar, click on the calendar settings button icon from the calendars toolbar and go to the collaborators tab. You can access these roles here. You'll be able to set a role for each invited collaborator. All you have to do is enter in their email address and then select a role, either editor, client, contributor, or viewer from this state, and then you can send the invite. You can also update the role at any time within your collaborators tab of calendar settings. All you have to do is select who you would like to update the role for, click the icon, and change the role and save. And that's how you update the role. Another neat feature we have is the manage users panel. You can also update their roles and or access to a calendar if you're the subscriber of the plan or the owner of their calendar by going to account settings, going to the billing tab, and then going to the manage users panel in the bottom. You can invite collaborators from here and select their role or update the user's role and give them access to different calendars as well, if you would like, as you can see here. Now that we've discussed the predefined roles and how to assign and update roles, I wanted to show you the custom roles featured, which is offered on our advanced plans and up. We allow you to create custom roles so you can tailor make sets of permissions for each team member or collaborator in a more granular and flexible way. Not only can you decide how your collaborators can interact with features and content inside of each of your calendars, but you can also limit the time frame of the posts they can see, which is really useful if a collaboration has an end date. So custom roles can be accessed by your calendar settings. All you have to do is go to the Roles tab of calendar settings. So let's review the different permissions you can allow for a custom role. You'll simply need to fill out the name field and you can name it anything you would like. You can name it by the user's name or, their roles as well. If you want to restrict a time frame for which a collaboration begins and ends, all you have to do is select a start date and end date as well. Now for the permissions, we have a few different options. For calendar, we allow you to manage options. This allows collaborators to update the options tab of calendar settings. Notify collaborators. So this allows them to send notifications to collaborators when the calendar is ready for review. Manage library to access, upload, update, and delete assets in the library. Interactions to access and use the interactions feature within the calendar's toolbar. And access analytics to view and export advanced analytics. The post section is going to be permissions regarding the posts. To view draft posts, that's just to view posts in the draft state. Create posts, pretty self-explanatory, just if they can access Post Builder to build new posts. Update is to edit any existing posts. Change assignment. So do you want this role to be able to assign collaborators to a post? If so, just go ahead and check that box. And also deleting posts. For ads, this allows them to access Loonly Ads Manager with different actions that can be taken similar to the posts section. So comments, this section will be for internal comments left within Loonly in the post view and or list view. So see private comments allows them to view any comments that were marked as private by collaborators. Mark private means posting private internal comments, which are only visible to those who can see private comments. Pin to the top to allow this role to comment, stick to the top of post logs in post view. Delete is deleting their own or other users' comments. For collaborators, manage is to access and update existing collaborators' roles. Invite to roles to allow this custom role to invite new collaborators, and you can select one of a couple choices. You can either select none, all roles, or just client, contributor, and viewer roles, which have limited permissions in terms of content creation, as we've discussed. Now for social accounts, ticking manage for this section allows the custom role to connect new social accounts and disconnect and refresh connections for existing social account connections. For post dates, checking the post dates, they can update a post too. So do you want them to be able to submit a post for approval, approve posts, schedule, publish, and cancel? And same goes for ad states for Loonly Ads Manager. So just check off the boxes you want them to have permissions for, and then go ahead and create the role, and you'll be all set. And that wraps up everything for today's Flash webinar about custom roles. Thanks so much for joining us today. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to review our FAQ section for more information. If you feel like your question hasn't been answered in our FAQ, please feel free to contact us either through our chat or by emailing us at contact@loomly.com. Thanks again for joining.